Students, today we will learn about the new concept, that is algebra. Actually, the name is new, but the concept we have learned before also. As and when we will learn it further, you will understand that algebra is nothing but the normal arithmetic related problems which we have learned before also. What is algebra? Where it has come from? Suppose you play a game. Okay, you play a game. Like I have few chocolates and you have 3 times chocolate than me. Okay, and suppose your friend has 9 chocolates. So as the friend knows that he or she has 9 chocolates, he can calculate easily by dividing by 3 that I have 3 chocolates. Similarly, here is the example of father's age is thrice the age of son. And if someone says that the son's age is 6, obviously the father's age is 18 or son's age is 12. Okay, the father's age is 36, right? I should not say 18, but the correct one is, so if son's age is 12, the father's age is thrice of 12, that is 36. Let's see further what is algebra. Actually, algebra is something which is about unknown number. The number which is not known to us and we have to find this. Let's take one example. Okay, now there are 60 students in class. Out of them, 25 are girls. So how many are boys? This is a simple problem, but here how many are boys is the unknown value. And how will you find that? 60 minus 25 is equal to 35. Right? That is the correct answer. So the number of boys is 35. Here the number of boys is unknown. So let us assume it as X number of boys are there in the class. Now how will you find it? That X boys plus 25 girls is equal to 60, and that's how boys is equal to 30. I would like to tell you over here that it is not only X, but you can consider any of the alphabet from the total number of alphabets to represent the unknown value. Okay, and that alphabet which represents the unknown value is called as variable. It's called as variable. Now variable is always represented in a lowercase. Now why variable? Because there are different values. The value varies. I will give you one example of area of square. Okay, the area of square is side into side. But if you have a square of side 4 centimeter, you will say 4 into 4, that is 16 centimeters square. But if the side is 20, then it is 20 into 20, 400 centimeters square. So it varies. So to generalize the formula, we use the variable, that is S into S. Okay. Now here are few expressions, I would say, that is called as algebraic expressions, where the unknown value is represented with a variable and mentioned as a sum or difference. Now here the first one we can say 5 more than n, or 5 added to n, or n increased by 5. The next one is 7 subtracted from x, 7 less than x, 7 taken away from x, and the same goes with the next one, that is w minus 25. Let us say we have some x unknown number of chocolates. Again we purchase some x, the same chocolates. We have some chocolates, but the same number of chocolates we purchased again. So here we do as x plus x is equal to 2x. Now let's see the variable in the formula. I just gave you the example of area of square. See, we have been learning this algebra right from 4th, or I can say 3rd standard, right? The perimeter of some polygons can be given as, okay, it is the sum of sides. So here if we consider a figure of square, its perimeter is 4 into side, that is 4s. Now why 4 into side? Because all the sides are of same length. So to generalize it, we write the formula P as a perimeter, which is in capital letter, but S, which should be in a small letter. P is equal to 4 into S. Now let's see about the rectangle. Okay, I know children, you know it as P is equal to 2 into L plus B. Here it is mentioned as width. It's okay. I told you na, the unknown value can be written in any of the alphabet that you want. Why we use length L and B? Because we think length and breadth. Here it is length and width. So to represent that particular word, we use its initial. So P for perimeter is equal to twice the sum of length and breadth, that is L plus B or L plus W, which is length and width. Now let's see how we have used the variables in rule of arithmetic. If you remember the whole number chapter, we have came across a few properties of addition and multiplication. If you remember the commutative property, associative property, then distributive property, where the generalized rule is represented with alphabet, right? So suppose here you see 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 and 4 plus 2 is also equal to 6, right? But we can generalize, it shouldn't be like that ki only 4 and 2 is going to be there. So to generalize the property, we can say that a plus b is equal to b plus a. Means what we want to say is, if we change the order of the numbers, the sum remains the same, right? Similarly, a into b is equal to b into a. It is called as commutative property. The multiplication also remains the same, whereas this is not possible in case of subtraction and division. Similarly, associative property, see, the moment you see the numbers over here and the way it is presented, you will remember that it is a plus b plus c is equal to, now first you can put a plus b in bracket, then you put b plus c in bracket, then you put a plus c in bracket. But wherever you put the bracket for, okay, the sum is going to remain the same. The same is applicable for multiplication.